Is it a dream job or is it a train wreck? Before you decide, watch this video. And before you apply, you want to make sure that you take these few steps that I'm going to share with you today to make sure that it is actually a dream job and not a train wreck. I'll tell you more about this in a moment. So, if you're here today and you have a few minutes to be able to talk through this process, I want to give you three things that you should do before deciding if something is truly your dream job. I know that we've all done it before. Maybe it was earlier in your career or even back in your younger days where you got into something that wasn't quite what it seemed. And at this stage, we definitely don't want to go down that path. So I want to give you the steps to doing your due diligence to make sure that there is not only a role fit, but also a company culture fit in whatever you decide to do in the next phase of your career. Now, if you stay to the end, a lot of this is going to include I'll just go ahead and share with you right now. This is going to include getting on LinkedIn and connecting with people. If you're new here, then you'll get to know me a little bit more. But if you're an oldie but goodie, you know that LinkedIn is my jam. Most people call me the LinkedIn queen, but I'm really passionate about, and my skill set is around navigating the professional networks to be able to get fulfillment in your career. So not just LinkedIn, but how can you really enhance your overall career? And LinkedIn is a tool for that. So that being said, I'm going to be sharing with you at the end of this video a special free gift that is going to help you be able to make those connections on LinkedIn, because before you even do that, you got to make sure that you know what you're doing over there. So stay to the end because you're going to need that information as you go and take these steps to make sure you have that dream job. Now, as I mentioned, if you are new here, I know you can see my name and the things that I do, but my name is Kirsten Allen. I want to formally introduce myself to you as your career fulfillment coach. I help women who want fulfilling lives land six-figure careers and essentially be the CEO of their career, meaning that they drive the ship. They decide where they're going to go. They create their own corporate ladders, shatter corporate ceilings, and get to the levels that not only satisfy them in a career, but also personally. And I'm happy that you're here today to be able to get a little piece of that in the form of deciding what truly your dream job is and what you should be doing before you make that choice. So let's get right into it. Have my notes here so that I can be able to follow this and get really clear and succinct, because you are now watching our Power Play series. So Power Plays are all about actionable steps that you can take to be able to move your career into that six-figure level. So these are quick, actionable things that you can do in probably less than 10 to 15 minutes to be able to move forward in your career. So welcome into that series. Let's get into it. So once you've found a role that you like and you feel that this is going to be a dream opportunity, it aligns with both your passions and your skills. And I have another video that talks about that entire process. And now you're saying, this is something that I want to go for. I want to encourage you to take one pause and actually get on LinkedIn and connect with at least 10 people who are either in this company and adjacent to the team or organization that you would be working with, or people who hold this job title as well, if this is a large company. And the reason that I say this is because these people are going to give you a little bit more insight than what's shown on the screen in the job description. Now, I'm going to tell you this from experience. I have looked at roles and have seen all the things that were a part of the responsibilities I've gotten excited about. And I'm like, oh, this is for me. And I've talked to someone and they're like, this may not be a good fit for you. And not to be, mean about it, but when I explain kind of like, this is my personal life, this is kind of what I'm looking for in terms of roles, this is like the things that I need, they let me know this probably wouldn't be somewhere that you would actually thrive in the stage that you're in and the things that you're looking for. And I completely respect that, right? People that can tell you based on what you share with them and give you their candid feedback to say, no, this may not be it, but this is a great opportunity for you to check out. That's valuable, right? Then you don't waste any time going down a path that really doesn't align with you at the end of the day. So so once you get those people into your network, I want to let you know before I say this, because I know there's going to be some mindset things that come up like, who do I connect with? They're not going to want to talk to me about this. Like, no one's going to do this. One, I will tell you, I've done it, but you have to think about it this way. People love to help and share, right? People love to talk about themselves, the things that they're doing. People love to get jazzed up about what they're passionate about. So if anyone responds to you which some people may not, and that's fine, they'll be open to talking to you. I've talked to really random strangers that I've met on LinkedIn just by asking some questions and wanting to gain a little bit more understanding about what it is that they do. So you don't have to worry about feeling that people won't respond to you or this is a weird thing that no one is going to do. I'm here to tell you it is possible and it can happen. So once you have those 10 people in your connection list, it may take a few days for them to respond, whatever the case may be. You can choose a handful of them. So 2 or 3 people to reach out to, and you may not get some responses. That's why I said get 10 connections and then figure out, from there, which people would be good to talk to. And you can also look through their post and just kind of get a vibe to see if it's someone that may be open to speaking to you. And I would suggest that you set up coffee chats with these people. Now, some people have never heard of coffee chat, so you can just explain to them it's a virtual conversation online, 15 minutes on Zoom, whatever platform you want to use, where you just ask them a few questions about what they do because you're interested in moving into a similar role. Now, during these conversations, you can make it fun and actually have coffee or, go to a coffee shop or whatever, but none of that is needed. It's literally coffee chat is just another word for a virtual conversation. And during this, you want to cover 3 things. So first thing you want to do is you want to solicit honest feedback. And that's about what I mentioned a minute ago with the role that I was looking for at one point. You want to create an open door. Like, tell me exactly how it is. I want to understand, is this going to be a good fit for me? So the same way that you request honest feedback, be open and candid about the things that are important to you, whether it's personal or, work things, whatever it is. Be as open as you can, as open as you're willing to be, to share with them like, hey, this is where I am. That way, as they're giving you feedback, they can give you that honest, valuable feedback that maybe this isn't a good fit, but I do know about this opportunity that sounds like more aligned to where you're looking to go. You can't get that feedback if you're not being open to share. So it has to kind of be a 2-way street there, but it's super valuable information because, again, if you're getting feedback from someone who's in it, they can be able to guide you along the way. And again, people do not mind sharing and being open about what it is that they do. So once you gather that information, then you want to ask them, obviously, for interview tips. They've been through the process before. They understand how it works. So they may be open to sharing with you what are some things that they would avoid. And obviously, if they're not the hiring manager or the recruiter, there's nothing wrong with them sharing information. And there's nothing against you making contact with people within the organization to ask these questions. Actually, it's a huge benefit and value to you that most people will not do. And this is also beneficial because if this person has a good conversation with you and they like you and they have some connection to the hiring manager, they're going to say, hey, I just talked to Crystal the other day. She applied for this role, but she reached out to me asking a little bit more about the position. We had a great conversation. And, I just wanted to share with you that I think she would be a good fit. Referrals from the inside are definitely taken depending on how large the organization is and, if there's connection there. But internal referrals have a lot of strength. So if you are able to make contact with someone, even if it's on the first meeting and you guys just hit it off and start talking about all, the different things, they may be willing to just drop a quick note. You don't have to ask for this at all, but just on their own, they may go and talk to that hiring manager or that recruiter and let them know about your conversation. And then you become, someone that they're looking out for. So that's just a completely separate benefit that could happen. Not something, like I mentioned, that you want to ask for, but just something that can happen just based on having a conversation. So definitely ask for those interview tips. If there's anything specifically that they would suggest that would help you stand out, or, anything that they would suggest around the people that you may be interviewing with, how to best connect with them, definitely do those things and connect with them on LinkedIn. If the person happens to drop any names or, any contacts within the company, connect with those people on LinkedIn as well and get to know them also. All right. The second piece is that you want to ask this person during the coffee chat interview is, what about the company culture, right? So one of the things that you also want to think about is the role could look great, but if it's at a company that doesn't really align with your particular needs, for example, I know most companies are very clear about this now, especially post-pandemic, but, work from home versus remote work. If remote work is important to you and something that you need, but this company is cultured around or prioritizing getting back into the office and things of that nature, then that may not be a good fit for you. It may be best for you to find another organization that has the infrastructure and promotes remote work, right? So that may be something, like I said, nowadays, that specific example is more clear, but things like that that may not be in the description or something that you've gathered from your company research could be good questions to ask your coffee chat participant and get a little insight on how the company is as a whole. So, as I said, many people will not do this stuff, right? They'll just go and keep applying and spraying and praying, hoping that someone calls them back. But these type of connections, having conversations, making contact, building your network, this is what's going to move you past all those people who are just applying and don't even hear anything back, right? Once you can become on the radar, once you have connections, people reaching out to you, people making introductions, that's how you're going to move this process faster to landing that six-figure dream job. All right. So before you do this, though, you need to make sure that your LinkedIn is on point, because if you're sending messages asking for coffee chats or making connections, people are going to go back and see, well, who is Ashley or who is Crystal? I need to know more about her to see if this is really something serious, right? So you want to make sure that your profile is optimized. Now, if you're like, oh, I haven't been on LinkedIn in a while, I'll just get on there and congratulate my coworkers. Or, even if you're watching this on LinkedIn, you're like, oh, I just happened to find this video, but I'm really not active on here. I have this free gift for you. So you stay to the end, confetti falls, congratulations to you. You get a free gift from me, no strings attached. You just type in your email and you get my free LinkedIn checklist with a video training. So I show you exactly how I would optimize and how I have optimized my profile to make sure that it hits all the key pieces that showcases who I am, what I do, and essentially why people want to connect and speak with me further. So you get to swipe all of those strategies in this video training and checklist and do it for yourself, so that as you're reaching out, having these coffee chatting conversations, people get to know you as well and know that you're serious about what you're looking to do. So if you want that checklist and training, all you need to do is comment me below whatever platform you're watching this on, and I will send it over to you. And then you will get your profile updated in the matter of 20 or 30 minutes if you walk through it. All right. So I will see you on the next Power Play video. Thank you so much for watching, and connect with me on LinkedIn if you aren't already. And let's keep the conversation going. See you later.